Republicans have a woman problem. The gender gap is wild in this election. And women are voting for Harris in droves and men are voting for Trump in droves. And if you're wondering why, you could take a look at a tweet that I did many moons ago where I said exactly this: Republicans have a woman problem, only to be quote tweeted by Republicans telling me they didn't want my whore vote anyway. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. There are many women who have fled the left because the left can't even define what a woman is.
What is a woman?
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
So we're not sure about them. I don't like being called a birthing person, a uterus haver. I don't like my spaces being invaded by men. I don't like prisons being invaded by men. I don't like the fact that we are willfully chopping off healthy body parts of children and rendering them unable to have kids and sterilize them, basically. So yes, that is horrific. It's awful. If you're asking me why I would vote for a right-wing person or Trump in this occasion, it is to put a stop to that nonsense. I find it even more insane and offensive than anything that anybody is talking about on the abortion side. I do think that the language around body count on the right, you have a lot of slut shaming. Like I was saying, women have fled the left in massive numbers, actually. Many Gen X, older millennial women have thrown up their hands and said, I'm not doing this. But they're not exactly comfortable casting a vote for a Republican. This is what you're seeing a lot with suburban moms who have young daughters. You also have this problem with the right-wing manosphere rhetoric, which I agree is not something that many people in the mainstream are necessarily exposed to. But I will tell you what, their children are, their teenagers are. The first time I ever heard about Andrew Tate was because my husband worked with teenagers and the girls were coming in talking about how psycho all the guys sounded because they loved Andrew Tate.
They ain't ready for the big man slap. I got a big hand. I'll bust their jaw with the bottom of my hand, and the top of their head will feel the sting from the fingers, like the whole boom.
So mothers are hearing about this. If you think, oh, the body count discussion, oh, Andrew Tate, that's just a right-wing phenomenon. It just exists for people who are very online. All of these kids are very online, and their parents are hearing about all of this stuff. And I've been in Austin, and whenever I go out and I meet young women and I'm doing comedy, I interview them and I want to know where they stand. I was at a very libertarian party, and there were lots of young women in their 20s and early 30s. And they knew me, they knew my podcast, they loved my stuff. And I asked them, could you vote for a Republican? And they were like, no, because of all of this rhetoric, repeal the 19th, the trad stuff. You have to offer a pathway. There's so many women for the taking. It's probably the wrong phrasing for this. But there are many women like myself just ready for the taking. And you've got to offer some kind of pathway to redemption. There are many reformed sluts in the suburbs. Many of us, a lot of us. We also don't really care about your slut-shaming, weird, sex kinky, like anti-sex positive stuff, because there is nothing wrong with being sensual and sexual. This is very important. I know that you guys had Amber Heard at your convention, and I saw the way a lot of people in the Republican Party talked about her. So there is a portion of the party that is willing to embrace the reformed sluts. And I appreciate you. But the majority of the party is so off-putting, and the loudest voices, Matt Walsh, are so alienating.
You have a woman who we can assume, based on her defensiveness, has had sex with a significant number of men, and who, far from repenting of it, instead flaunts it proudly, defending it in that screeching, vulgar tone that men find utterly disgusting, really.
They're so fun, that nobody wants anything to do with that, particularly women. And if you're going to be out there saying, you know, you should have a baby with your rapist, I'm sorry, that's not popular with women. That's just not. In the same way, the Democrats have Bud Lighted their brand.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm not afraid of women.
The right has really Andrew Tated theirs.
I am absolutely sexist and I'm absolutely a misogynist.
You've got to push back against these lunatics saying things like repeal the 19th and the obvious misogyny that is existing in your party. If you want to get people who have a past and are coming over to your side because they agree with more of your principles and policies, you can't slut shame them right out of the party. But also, you have to offer something to these young women. There's no real message that's compelling. So on the left, you have them saying, well, at least we care about you having a choice over your body, which, as much as you may agree or disagree with that, that is a compelling message for a young woman. I've been a young woman in my 20s, and people will be like, those bitches love abortions because they just want to sleep around. And this is why I hate tweeting it, because they'll be like, bitches also hate accountability. I hate that this is always framed around women too, by the way. Men also partake in this whole thing. Men also should be responsible for not knocking somebody up. It should not only fall on the woman. Dicks love abortions too. You know who doesn't care about abortions? Assholes. It might be fear-mongering. So they are scaring them into voting. You know, you're going to lose your vagina, which you might if you stay on the left long enough. And you're going to lose your ability to make any choices, which you might. But they're also offering, it seems like, okay, you know, we kind of care about women. I don't think they really do. I don't think either party actually does really, but on the right, there's no real vision for women. It's more like, they'll be like, well, at least we know how to define a woman. And I'm like, yeah, and you guys sound like a woman is an adult human female who should be making me a sandwich.
The fuck in the kitchen.
Biatch, get in that kitchen. I am now sticking up for my gender and saying no one out there represents a moderate pro-choice, pro-gun woman. Who's representing that? Where is the party for those women? Where is the party for women who want to have some modicum of decision, perhaps early on in a pregnancy, over their body? Not to mention, give them options for childcare. Don't lie to them like the left about how long they'll be fertile, but also don't act like that's their only mission in life and the only thing that makes them valuable as a woman, which is often what you hear on the right. Make it just like, oh, we value you. The left has a woman problem too.
Yeah.
For sure. They've lost a lot of women. I'm just not sure those women can fully hold their nose and vote for Trump. And this is a problem. The cat lady thing, how is that drawing people to your side?
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too.
Okay, they're childless and they have cats. How is making fun of Taylor Swift? How are you thinking that this is going to be encouraging people to come over to your side and that you care about them? It's like such a bad strategy. You're just slut shaming, wasted womb shaming, as I call it, telling women they're childless cat ladies and making them feel bad about who they are when a lot of them have disposable income. It's actually probably in their financial benefit to vote more right-wing often. There's so many things you could be doing other than making women feel bad about being childless, alone, or sluts.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
And until you can offer women a compelling path forward or a compelling reason to come over to your side, you will never get the female vote. If you lose, it is because you could not speak to those independent women who are going to determine this election, and you couldn't get them on board with you. Like if I heard some politician, if I was like independent and heard some politician being like, oh, there's childless cat ladies, and I was 41, my vote was up for grabs in a swing state, and I heard that, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm not voting for you either. I just wouldn't fucking vote. Or I'd vote for the other person just because fuck you. I'm available, Republicans. I will help you try and position yourself with some kind of messaging that isn't completely off-putting to women. Now let's check the weather with our favorite, Yanette Garcia.
Lluvias fuertes para esa gran parte, principalmente sobre el sur y sureste de la República Mexicana. Esperamos que ya para todo el noreste de nuestro país se mantengan las altas presiones, lo que estará provocando cielos despejados y soleados para gran parte del territorio mexicano, sobre el noroeste, norte y también noreste de nuestro país. Así que bueno, a disfrutar de estas vacaciones al máximo.
See, we here at Phetasy believe in promoting women who are career women and also incredibly sexy. You can be both. You can be a housewife and you can still be sensual and sexy. You don't have to choose between the Madonna and the whore. You can be all of those things. That is what's glorious about being a woman. And it is time the goddess rises and starts to own that. And we need to bring these sexes together or there will be no more. Like, this is why the freaking birth rate's collapsing. We're running away from each other. We need to come back together in love and sex and harmony. Don't be surprised and don't fucking come yelling at me and don't be yelling at the bitches who love abortions. Take a look at your own side of the street and your own role in this and your own party and your own messaging and your own extreme wing of your party, which you need to separate yourself from very clearly. You're always yelling at the left. Like, you need to separate yourself from the extreme radicals. Okay, you guys got to do that too. I know there are a lot of women who know how I feel. So I don't care about all of you dumb idiot trolls in my mentions right now. I'm speaking to the women. No one cares about women! Women! Probably calling them bitches doesn't help my argument against misogyny.
You're reclaiming the word.
I'm reclaiming the word bitches so I can use it kind of effectively. And I've been joking that bitches love abortions. It's just a funny line. I'm sorry. I can't stop saying it. I want to make the t-shirts. People will buy them unironically. My friend, who is very pro-choice, she and I got into a very healthy and fruitful debate about this the other night. And I told her about my t-shirt and she said she would buy one unironically. And that is perfect. Speaking of women, I'm a big advocate for women in general, clearly, and women's health in particular. That's why I love Quest's line of medical tests specifically focused on women's health issue. I think their line of fertility and menopausal tests are amazing. You can take an ovarian reserve assessment marker and find out exactly how much of a trad wife you have left in you to get an indication of your egg quantity. They also have a pre-pregnancy panel, a perimenopausal test to help you determine if you're entering perimenopause, and an early menopausal panel, and a post-menopause panel. This is all such important knowledge for women to have. It can affect your diet. It can affect your workouts. It can affect your entire life, how much water you should be drinking. The best part is you can get all of this information without a doctor's visit. Simply purchase a lab-based test and access women's health testing at a nearby location, or get immediate results at home with at-home test kits. Your results are delivered online, quickly and discreetly. Ladies, prioritize your health and visit questhealth.com today. Use the code FIRE to get 25% off and find answers to the multitude of health questions you may have. That's questhealth.com and use the code FIRE for 25% off. The link is in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons, tell your friends about us, and make sure you keep in touch with us and sign up for our free newsletter at Phetasy.com at the very least, or become a supporter at Phetasy.com. It's how we keep the lights on around here, and you get tons of unedited dumpster fires, lots of extra content, etc. We can't do this without all the people who make this possible. We can't do this without you. We can't do this without our subscribers. Support the people who support us. And please try and stay sane in the next couple of weeks. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Eat a lot of protein. Brace yourselves, guys. And now the internet is glorious. Oh.
Good morning, Pee-wee. Morning, Mr. Breakfast. Can I have some Mr. Cheese cereal? Okay. I pity the poor fool. Don't eat my cereal.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich! Ooh.
unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.